inevitable he's going to be going to the Knicks. Like they're just trying to figure out what's going to be sent there. And then just all of a sudden, like what was it, like 2, 3 nights ago, RJ Barrett gets this like 4 year, a little bit less than max extension. And Leon Rose and the Knicks are just like, yeah, we've been trying to do this all summer long. You guys, obviously, we're not going to, come to an agreement here. You guys either want too much or you don't want the other things we're offering you. So we're just going to back out of this and go about keeping RJ Barrett because we're happy with what he's done for us so far. So they keep RJ. But then everyone's still saying, like, yeah, but they didn't really need RJ to make the deal work anyway. So even with RJ re-signing in New York, we can still get the job done with like Grimes, Quickly, Toppin, all their picks. So I'm just like going about just waiting for the Knicks announcement. Like any day now, he's going to be a Knick. And then all of a sudden today, Donovan Mitchell traded to Cleveland, the Woj bomb. And I'm just like, what? That was crazy. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good fit. Obviously, like the whole thing that JB's been building there the last couple of years is like running three bigs, defensive focused guys, so that way they can mask the defensive liabilities that Garland and Sexton brought them a couple of years ago. Then obviously last year Sexton got hurt, but the rest of the Cavs started developing together as a unit. And, they brought in some more guys like LeVert, Rubio, who kind of were playing really well next to Mobley and Allen, kind of elevated their games offensively. And, they didn't really feel like what Sexton brought to the team was enough to warrant giving him a max extension or over 20 million like he wanted it apparently. So they were like, let's bring in a guy who's already established himself as like a very good player, especially in the postseason where he elevates his game even more. We're bringing in Donovan Mitchell. He kind of fits the system we're trying to build here with the two small guards and then the bigs who really help them in the pick and roll, get them open looks. So yeah, I really like this trade for Cleveland. It's basically just like you said, Chrissy, earlier when we were talking about it, it is like pretty much just like an upgrade from what Sexton would have brought. But Donovan Mitchell is a much better player than Colin Sexton and can do a lot more things that help winning basketball than what Colin Sexton brings. So I want to hear what you have to say. Or Aaron, whoever wants to go first.
I'll just chime in. I'll just chime in real quick. But that was unexpected. Like you said, like it's been going on for months. Like Mitchell's going to the Knicks, and we're just like sitting there, just waiting to see what happens. Like literally nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, he gets traded to the Cavs. And I could see why, Christy, it's like bittersweet because obviously Sexton's like it's just that like rookie factor has been there his whole career, and then like you just trade him. But like at the end of the day, you just got to realize that. What? Wait, hold on. Pause it real quick. Pause this real quick. Hold up. My Zoom is. Hold up. My Zoom is bugging out. Can you hear
Aaron,
me?
you're ruining this for our live audience.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I can still hear you. Yeah.
Hold up. Wait, hold on. Let me leave and come back.
This guy.
Okay. Bye. What's it called? Wait, is it even popping up on YouTube right now? Because this is kind of drawing.
Let me see. Yeah, it says we're live on here from you.
But the video's actually like loading up and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, viewers, don't just ignore the fact that this ever happened. My name is Aaron Joseph. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm just kidding. Yes. I guess I'll talk while Aaron gets back. But yes.
We're not recording though on the other thing.
Oh yeah, actually you're right. So actually let's just talk about random stuff. Yuta Watanabe. Great move.
Very, very great pickup for the Nets. I think that was over the top. They're definitely a championship favorite now. I'm really looking forward to the finals matchup against, or the Eastern Conference Finals matchup, I should say, against Javon Carter and the Bucks.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be insane. What's your prediction for Carter? You think he's gonna average a triple double for the series, or?
I'm thinking maybe quadruple double. Like he's gonna get them steals too.
Yeah, you're right. I think for me, Utah might get Watanabe, not the Jazz.
Yeah.
Utah's gonna shoot like probably 46% from three on about like 9.5 attempts per game.
I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
And then, once that series wraps up, it's going to be crazy because then the winner of that gets to go on to face the Suns, led by Jock Landale in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be a crazy ideal matchup right there. Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for that. I think Landale's gonna make a huge difference for Phoenix. Um,
You hear
that's
me
how.
now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom called in the middle of it and literally messed up my whole Zoom screen, and
Your
everything
mom.
froze. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, "You sound like robots." And everything was like slow now, so I'm back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna play it. Resume the recording. Three, two, one. Record.
But yeah, where was I? Well, yeah, basically, I could see the rookie factor. How like you could see that young grown talent you've been like rooting for so long since the beginning, and now all of a sudden he's just gone. Like I get the upset part, but like Mitchell, like you said, is just like he's 25 and he's just as young as your young core. Like you could probably build off that for a while now, like as long as like financials work out. But I like you're in a good position, even though the East is kind of stacked. So I'm not saying like I wouldn't say y'all are title contenders right now yet, but like you're at the brink of it, and who knows? Like by the end of the season, we don't know yet. Like it's still very early, so I think, and plus you gave up like you didn't give up way too much. I don't know much about Ochai, so but like Lowry, that's like I guess, but then three picks and then two pick swaps. I think like I thought they were gonna ask more for Mitchell. I personally thought it wasn't a. I didn't think it was a fleece, like people were kind of saying it is, but I feel like it's kind of a win-win. So I wouldn't be too upset, especially like the hype coming along with it. And now y'all have a superstar at 25 years old. He's like entering his prime. If not, he already is in his prime. So I think it's a win for you too.
Before Christie starts talking about his views on the trade, considering it is his team, and I'm assuming it's going to take a little bit. Aaron, I wanted to ask you because I saw this conversation being thrown around on Twitter a lot today after the trade happened.
Mhm.
So let's say if you're the Jazz, would you rather take the offer of that Cleveland gave them now, which is like basically three unprotected picks, two protected picks, all first round, and then Sexton, Lowry, and Ochai? Or would you rather take an offer from the Knicks that was proposed, like their final offer, which is supposed to be RJ, quickly, and two unprotected first round picks?
I still take the Cavs deal
You think so?
because you get three picks. You get more picks, and I feel like I'm like I said, like Ochai is a rookie, and Sue's like a wing. So like, and then you get Lowry and Sexton. Like I feel like, and they said they're gonna keep those pieces. So I feel like I think it's because the Knicks had more picks to offer. That's why the Jazz were trying to get more out of them, but they ended up not doing it. It's like a Knicks thing to do, I guess. I would have overpaid personally
I
because
also
I
feel
feel
like the
like they're
Knicks picks
desperate.
would have been more valuable than the Cavs picks, just because if
Yeah, and
I feel like Donovan Mitchell going to the Knicks, like I feel like him being on the Cavs makes them a better team than the Knicks would have been adding Mitchell. So I think the
that's
Knicks picks would have been better than the Cavs picks if they were to get them. And then also it's just a factor of like, would you rather have RJ or would you rather have like Sexton is the other argument. Like me
but
personally, I think RJ has a higher upside than Sexton does. And I
yeah.
like Ochai, obviously he's like a rookie. We don't really know what we're gonna get from him yet, but I feel like he projects to be like a rotation guy because he's like a senior coming out of Kansas. He's already like pretty established as like
Yeah.
he'll be like a decent rotation player. And then Lowry, I don't really know if he's going to get much better at this point because he hasn't. He's been like pretty. He's been like the same type of player his whole career pretty much since his rookie season, with like little improvements here and there. But I feel
Did
like they're
they
basically
say?
getting what they're
Did
getting
they
with him.
say? My bad. Did they say what year picks they were?
It's like
23, 25, 27, I'm
yeah, I
guessing.
think that's what it was, and then
Uh,
24 and 26 swaps.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like you don't know what's gonna happen 5 years from now, but like now, I mean, you can always almost bet on the Knicks being mediocre or bad. So that's like that pick value is probably even more. But
I
I
feel like
mean,
they're
now that
probably
you,
banking on Mitchell leaving after 3 years left on his deal, and then that those last couple of picks being good.
I don't. That's another thing we could talk. That's a lot of contracts you're supposed to like. What is like Allen's contract right? Jared Allen's contract right now, like,
He's
and
got like 20 mil a year.
It's not
and
crazy. But the issue is with this is like because Evan's going to be due for his
Mobley,
extension soon. So
yeah,
Evans,
um,
you got 3 more years of Mobley on a rookie contract before you have to pay him. So I like this is perfectly fine in my opinion.
I mean for
well, no,
now
it's
it
two until he
is.
becomes eligible, I think, right?
Well, no, but then when he signs it, when he becomes eligible, you still have that last year before it kicks in.
True, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
It's 4 years on the rookie deal. So he's already
yeah.
played 1 year, so he's got 3 more until you have to start paying him.
Wait, Donovan has what 3 years left?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Plus Love will be off the books by then too for his max. So you have room.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean I think he should be chilling, honestly.
theoretically should be
Like,
chilling, but I mean, hopefully there's no like drama where it's like, oh, I want more money, or like Mitchell's like, oh, I need this amount of money, you know what I mean? Blah blah blah. But um, I mean, before I start talking, I mean, for the question that Steve just asked, me personally, I'm not like no bias. I would still take the Cavs offer than the Knicks offer. Just I mean the picks, yeah, the Knicks have the better pick choices, I guess. But as far as like the players you're getting right now, um, I mean, yes, I'm sure. I mean, RJ definitely has like a, I guess like a higher like I guess outlook or ceiling than Colin does. But at the end of the day, you're getting a 24 points per game scorer in Colin Sexton, to kind of like lead you into this next stage of like the rebuild slash like retool. Um, so you're getting that, and then Laurie Markkinen, um, like all right. So the thing with Laurie is like, yeah, with Chicago, it's weird because he came in looking pretty good, and then that whole thing with Jim Boyle and all that happened. I remember I did a lot of research last season on how like things went wrong for Laurie and how like Boylan came in and all that transition from like that Hoiberg thing to like to Boylan and then the bull now I forgot his name. I saw my head. Who was it again? It's not is it Donovan? It's Billy Donovan, right?
Billy Donovan's Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like all of that like was weird, and then I remember he started getting like a consistent role in minutes. And then when he came to Cleveland this year, he started off a little bit rocky, a little bit shaky, but I'd say like by the time it was like January, February, he really started getting to his role. Considering that he started to plays a small forward role. And then he started hitting his threes, and his like you could tell his on ball defense got noticeably better. He started trying, and I was really excited for him too. And I remember like it's funny too because like Eurobasket was going on too for these last couple of weeks, and I remember a lot of people were posting his his highlights, and he's actually been going off. He's putting together some pretty good games, doing what he does best, like playing as a big body. He's bringing the ball up the floor now. He was shooting, he was dunking, he was doing everything too. So just seeing that, I was really excited for him this upcoming season. So, and he's still relatively young, and he still has room for improvement. And he was making improvements as the season went on. And he looks a lot more fit and like healthier and happier too. So I think like that, like them getting him too is also really good. And then Ochai, like bro, like you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like he's a national champ. I mean, I forgot what conference they're in, but he was a player of the year, I think. And if you look at his college career too, like he literally started off in college like shooting like a weird like percentage, like 32% on some really low like efficiency or like really shot like really low volume. But like as years went on, like his volume and his percentage has been going up. And this past season, I think he took like 6 or 7 threes per game, and he like hit like 42% of them, right? And on top of that, like his athleticism was crazy. Like he's a really good off ball cutter. He had a lot of nice athletic dunks. Definitely above the rim. And then on defense, like he was like a pretty sturdy body, 6'6", pretty big wingspan. So obviously I like you guys saw how excited I was for him, like before the draft even happened. Like I was like, he was on my list of prospects, and then we got him. And again, like literally 2 days ago, or actually no, yesterday, actually, I was watching Kansas highlights on my TV. I was like watching him. I was like, all right, bet, getting excited, watching some of the summer league highlights. And I mean, that's another thing. So during summer league, he came out to a hot start that first game, and I was like, all right, bet we have something here. You know what I mean? So, those three players as of right now, in terms of what you're getting, in terms of those next steps for that rebuild, that retool is I think that's definitely better than what the Knicks would have gave you, like for sure. That's not even like bias. This is what it is right now. But as far as the picks, it's what like yeah, 3 future firsts and like pick swaps and stuff like that's what I'm saying. My issue with that entire thing is like, all right, we get the picks up, of course. It's Donovan Mitchell, of course, right? And then obviously I give up Colin Sexton. Like it hurts just seeing his growth and seeing how like 2018, like he was thrown under the bus. And then like 2 years later, like, you know what I mean? He's putting up numbers. He took down that big three by himself. That game was insane. Like all the stuff that he was doing. And then earlier this season, before he got injured, he was actually adjusting to a new role, playing off the ball, playing better defense, actually passing the ball. And just seeing that, I was like, all right, bet I was excited for, for his leap. And then that in itself obviously hurts a lot because it's him, and I feel like I grew a lot with him too. Like he was there since day one, you know what I mean? So seeing that gone, it hurts. And then again, like, all right, fine, we give up Colin. The whole contract thing was messy. Like if we couldn't get him back, fine, whatever, right? Obviously the trade didn't go down. I feel like he would have been on a Cav by the time it was opening night. But that's a whole different conversation. But all right, fine, we had to give him up contract, whatever. It didn't work out, fine. All right, like Laurie, like, and I said this earlier too in the Twitter chat. It's weird too because I remember like Chris Fedor and all them would they would consistently just like harp on like, all right, like obviously the big three are locks, like Garland, Mobley, and Allen are locks, right? But I remember Fedor was like, yeah, the next closest player who's like a lock, like who will like has a safe spot on the team is Laurie Markkinen, and apparently like the team had like a high regard on him, and they viewed him as a part of the young core. So seeing him like thrown in kind of like. And then like Steve just touched on it too. Like JB Bickerstaff had the three big, Tower City lineup. And that's what I really liked watching last season because we had 3 7-footers out there. Laurie was doing actually pretty good on defense because it's like he really had nothing to lose. It's like, all right, if he gets blown by, there's Mobley and Jared in the back line, helping, waiting to help. So as a result of that, his defense got a lot better. So seeing that and the fact that we had a 7-foot tall small forward out there, like who can shoot threes at a high clip and who could also put the ball on the floor a little bit and play inside. Like I was really happy about that, really excited. I was really wanted to see like year 2 small forward Markkinen. And even in the playing game, you guys saw how good he was. I feel like he was probably our best player that night, honestly. Like him and Darius, I guess, you know what I mean? Like they were actually, putting the points up and he was making a huge difference. And I mean, the fact that he's gone too is like kind of heartbreaking too, just because like I feel like we finally, got to do something. Like we got to do something kind of revolutionary in terms of having that 3 big lineup. Everyone was like clowning on JB. Like me for a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but still like seeing that revolutionary like ball, that plan kind of come into motion was kind of cool. But now it's of course it's kind of gone, unfortunately, but that hurts. But then I was like, all right, fine. So those two are gone, fine, right? But I thought like what we needed a lot apart from that half court creation was a wing. Who could hit threes and play defense. And we got that in Oshai, and we literally, kind of gave him away. Which again, that's kind of crazy because our wing depth is kind of stretched thin right now. Steve said earlier, like in the Twitter chat, it was like, all right, maybe this is good. This is good news for Isaac, and like maybe everything's like ticking up for him. Which I mean, you guys know me, I'm a big Isaac truther. I had stock with him since day one. You know what I mean? So. I mean, again, hopefully that's the case. And I do believe that will be the case. But even if, that is like, assuming that's what it's going to be, we really don't have anyone else except, I guess, like Lamar, which hopefully another breakout candidate because I'm also high on him. And then I guess like Karras, but then he's more just like a strict 2 than he is like a guy who can also play the 3. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I really have like much faith in him playing the 3 really. And then I guess like Dean Wade. Which I mean, I guess he kind of solidified himself as a player, but I mean, I guess it kind of comes into question. It's like, all right, how does it kind of factor in? How many minutes are each guy going to get? Because I thought, my whole thing was like, all right, Ochai's going to come in. He's going to have like sort of like a Desmond Bane type arc. He's going to come in as a 4-year player, kind of do his thing, and then really take that leap in year 2. But like, all right, fine. Again, like I said, like Colin Lowry, fine. Those picks, fine. You know what I mean? Like it's Donovan Mitchell, fine. But and on top of that, like, like our 14th pick, it's basically we traded our this year's pick, you know what I mean, and then on top of the picks that we have in the future. So it's like, all right, so all that. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, obviously, I'm not denying that Donovan Mitchell is better than Colin Sexton, but what I'm saying is like Colin Sexton is essentially like a great value, like a discount version of Donovan Mitchell. And like I said, he'll still give you like 24 points per game on like near like 50, 40, 90 efficiency. It was like, I'm pretty sure it was like 48. On top of my head, it was like 40. I think it was like 48, like 36 or something like that. And then I forgot the free throw percentage, like 88 or something like that. I don't know. But regardless, it's like obviously not 50, 40, 90, but it's like still 24 points per game. And I'm not saying he's as good as Donovan, but it's still like a great value brand type stuff, right? So my thing is, it's like, all right, if we give up that package for like a Brandon Ingram, like, yeah, that would make sense, right? My thing is like I love Donovan Mitchell and I'm ecstatic he's on the team, but all I'm saying is like what the way I'm approaching is like if that's the price tag, I low-key would have rather kept like a discount version of Donovan Mitchell for all like the issues that he has. I would have rather kept him and then wait until next summer because we have a lot of cap space and see what we could have done then. And then like proceed like that. But I mean, if you know if this is the move that the front office thought was appropriate, then I mean I guess it's cool. But and again, like no qualms about it because like you guys said, it's Donovan Mitchell, so it's like all right, fine, yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying as far as like yeah, again the 14th pick in Ochai and then Laurie who kind of came into his own, and then Colin who kind of was in here organically and kind of knew the game plan, kind of knew JB. I feel like looking at it in that perspective, like I think I would have rather still kept that core. But again, like in terms of the outlook for this season, it's like I mean, like what you guys said earlier, it's like a perennial all-star guy, like an all-NBA guy, a guy who can drop 50 in the playoffs. So it's like this kind of, I guess, solidifies us in a tier, I guess, in the playoffs, in the playoff hunt rather. Because I feel like before this, like people were like, oh, the Cavs, like you guys gonna be like a playing team again, blah blah blah. Which I didn't think, but that's what a lot of people are saying. So I guess like this move kind of solidifies us being like a top 5, top 6 team, which I mean, I guess I can feel better about. And Aaron, like you said, like it brings that what's it called, that media attention and that the overall like that national team thing. You know what I mean? We have had that since LeBron, like 4 years ago. So kind of getting that bag is a really good feeling. But I mean, like you guys saw with the Warriors, like seeing how they did it, like with their homegrown players, like the pride in saying like, oh, like yeah, these guys were draft picks, and then they kind of won a championship off of that. That was my whole thing with like Sexland and all that. You know what I mean? So like seeing that kind of hurts, of course. But I mean, but yeah, I mean, again, I'm not gonna be like a negative Nancy because like again, like one half of me is like super excited. I'm like, let's go, like you know what I mean? Like I really want to see like us do like a deep run this year. But again, another half of me kind of just stings just because it's like, all right, damn, it's like these guys that I had a lot of like, like that fan bias. I'm like, all right, bet these guys are gonna come around and we're gonna use this core to go forward, and maybe we'll add like an Andrew Wiggins next season, and then you know what I mean, like 1 or 2 pieces like that. But yeah, I mean, I obviously don't want to ramble on for too much, but I feel like just as a fan, like of course I'm excited, like I'm so excited, like I'm like I can't wait to watch like this season. I can't wait to watch how Darius and Donovan are gonna play, especially with Mobley and again like Isaac. I can't wait for his Jimmy Butler arc and then Jared Allen. But it's gonna be a fun season for sure. It's just it really does stink because for the last couple of weeks, considering how like quiet the front was, I was definitely kind of I was like, all right, I was in the mindset where I was like, all right, fine, nothing's gonna happen. We might just get rid of Dylan and Chetty, get like, I don't know, like a Reddish or like some cheap guy in return, and then re-sign Colin or like a QO and then re-sign him next year. You know what I mean? Like that's my thought process was like, all right, bet we're gonna get everything back, the gang's back together. But definitely came out of nowhere, definitely bittersweet. But I think as the days will go on, I think it's gonna be more sweet than bitter for sure. And I said in the last episode that I'm gonna watch a lot more OKC, but I'm gonna start watching a lot more Utah this season too for sure. But yeah, end of rant.
Crazy take.
I don't know. Listen, I don't hate it. Listen, I don't know. Whatever.
I think Utah's probably going to be one of my least desired teams to watch next year. But back to the Mitchell thing, like at first, my first thought too was like kind of the same thing that you were just talking about. Like it's just like kind of like a similar structure with what they already had, with like Mitchell being better than Sexton. But when you really think about it, Donovan Mitchell is an elite playoff performer. Like he's brought that Jazz team, which is like him. It was basically him and Gobert, and then like a bunch of role players around them who were like off and on like the same type of players, pretty much like between Ingles, Bogdanovich. Like they had Rubio there for a while, like just recycling all these like really similar players with those two as like their main 2 guys. And they brought that team to the second round multiple times. They've consistently been like one of the best regular season teams in the league. And now you bring Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland, where that he's basically playing in the same like structure of offense that he was in Utah, except you have like another elite guard pairing in Darius Garland, and then a generational rookie in Evan Mobley added to that. Like Mitchell, the way Mitchell creates his offense the most is he comes off the Gobert screens, creates for himself in the mid range and the 3, last year he was in the 99th percentile in 3-point shot making, which is obviously like the best in the entire league, pretty much when it comes to that regard. And the biggest problem that the Cavs had last year, I know Sexton was out with injury, but Darius Garland didn't have another guy who can create offense next to him consistently. Like you had LeVert, he did it for a while, but obviously in that playing game, we saw that he struggled. He's not like that elite player that they needed next to Garland.
And he was injured too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. And they had that. Like last year, like a lot of people were saying that, the Cavs are still going to be a play-in team even after this trade because, Garland and Mitchell aren't going to be able to work together defensively. But, last year the Cavs almost made the playoffs with the same structure of team basically, except now you're adding Donovan Mitchell to a system that he's already comfortable playing in. So that's going to be even better there. And then also, what was I about to say? Oh, right. Karis LeVert is now going to be like basically going against second units every night alongside Ricky Rubio. They're going to like those were two guys who were starting a lot of games last year for the Cavs, and they were still beating teams. Like now you have them going against second units. That's going to be a really. I'll probably throw a bet on LeVert to win Sixth Man of the Year, if I'm being completely honest. Like
I like that. I like that.
I really like this Cavs team now, and I think they're pretty deep, and I think they can honestly like. So I think they have a chance to solidify themselves as like a top 5 team in the East easily.
No, it's actually good that you said that because I forgot about that too because I feel like we still hung on to Karras too, and I think like our second unit, I guess before Ricky comes back is gonna be like like Neto, who's like a pretty serviceable point guard, Karras, Love, who just came off like Sixth Man of the Year campaign. We got Robin Lopez, and then whatever happens with like again Dean Wade, Lamar, and then Dylan. Or Chetty, like so you're right. Like the depth is
even if you keep them, they're still like solid. Like if they're like your 9th and 10th guys in your roster, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And like, that's what I'm saying too. Like I think that's why I have to commend Kobe Altman the most and the front office, just because like I feel like we found a lot of really solid depth players in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're NBA level guys, not like guys who are like basically G Leaguers. You know what I mean? How some teams have that. And I think I'm definitely like proud to say that we have that. And like I said, it's good that you brought it up. And I think like I think Karras, having 3 months off of rest and kind of getting his body right. I remember I think the Cavs were in LA last week doing like a pro run or whatever, and Karras looked pretty good and healthy. So I think, like you said, like that second unit run that he's going to get, coming off with Kevin and like again like Lopez, who can provide some solid minutes here and there, and then again like Neto, he's still a really solid point guard until Rubio comes back. So that depth is still going to be there, and I feel like that whole take where people are like, yeah, we're not going to make the playoffs just because it's an undersized backcourt. It's like it's honestly really stupid to me because I mean even when we in those 12 games that we had, Colin, we were still like again top of the league in defensive efficiency and all that and all the metrics, and we were still winning games. And I mean I think it's like I think that's just a stupid thing, and like you said, it's like. Yeah, Portland tried that with Dame and CJ, but they didn't have the right defenders around them. But I think with us, we have a generational defensive player in Mobley, and we have an elite rim protector in Jarrett. And then again, like Isaac, who was definitely our best perimeter defender last season. Like I think you surround those guys with those 3 guys, I think I think you'll be definitely set. But it's a great point too. And I think that's why another thing is like a consolation thing. It's like, all right, we still have a coveted guy in Karis LeVert, like coming off the bench and just all that. So like our depth is still there. And like I said, it hurts definitely, but I think in terms of like I said earlier, that mental security of like, all right, it's like that top 5, top 6 is like that's got to be the floor. You know what I mean? It's like before it's like, all right, maybe it could be like varying, especially with with like Atlanta and all that. So it's like now I feel like it's like a more solidified floor, which gives me more comfort. But yeah, man, I don't know. I can't wait for the season though. I just want to get things started for sure.
One more thing I want to point out too with Cleveland before we like move on to the Utah side, I guess. Like I guess the Cavs are like the fact that they traded Ochai means that I feel like they got to be like what you were saying, what I said earlier, like they got to be comfortable with Isaac. Because the one thing that they're going to desperately need from him, especially come postseason time, is they're going to need him to knock down the open 3 if he's going to be playing next to in the starting lineup, which they're probably going to need him to do now because like you said, he's a really good defender for his age. He's probably going to be taking on the toughest guard assignments every night. Because I'm assuming he's going to be in the starting lineup just for that defensive guy. Yeah. But last year like statistically, he was like the most open guy from three all season, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he was also one of the lowest percentage shooters on those open shots. So that's one regard. Even if he doesn't get better anywhere else offensively, he just needs to knock down the open three. He's got to be able to do it if he wants to be able to get those minutes in the playoffs because they're going to need him on the floor too.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. And you, like I said, like quick blurb, right? It's just like obviously you guys know like I love Isaac. Like I wanted to see like him become an all-star. You know what I mean? Like it's funny the 2020 draft class of the NFL and the NBA. It's Isaac and Brager, right? And it's like I'm gunning for them both. And so like that's what I'm saying. So for Isaac, I just want to see him like yeah, like you said, like the 3-point shot has to go in. But the thing I will say is as the season went on last year, I think after the All-Star break, he started like shooting like 47% on catch and shoot looks, something like that. I forgot what it was. The volume wasn't like insane. Like I'm not going to say it was anything crazy, but his mechanics definitely got better. So and I think apparently from a Cavs executive that apparently he's been working his ass off and he's been looking better. This report came out like a month ago, I think. So that's hopefully a sign of good things to come. And that's another thing too. Like again, quick thing is like again, yeah, the catch and shoot thing is the most imperative right now. But what I saw for Isaac coming in when he got drafted was like, all right, like he can put the ball on the floor, he can kind of do that secondary, playmaking, like that, like again, Jimmy Butler light, like you know what I mean, like you can give the ball to him, he can make a play off the dribble type stuff, and he's shown flashes of it last year and the year before, and it's like he just has to, I guess, be confident in doing that, and it's like the whole mental thing of side of things is very important, and I think that's the main thing, but. Yeah, and hopefully again, like you said, like again, just praying to God that this is a sign of things, good things to come, and the Cavs like what they've seen from Isaac from his development. So, and yeah, I'm hoping this is like the biggest thing for Isaac is like him being able to break out, and then like I said, Lamar too, like being that 6'8" guy who can guard. I remember he was guarding like Paul George on matchups last year, and he was guarding like Reggie Jackson, and then like. In different games, he was guarding different guys, and it's like he did a really good job on them. And then, in terms of his creation in the half court is really good too. So like those two guys, like I love them so much, and like I see the potential, and that's I guess the one bright side that comes from this trade is like I can see hopefully like it grants opportunities for these two guys to kind of break out and kind of show the world the work they've been putting in. But yeah, that's that. I can't wait to get started for that. I can't wait to start watching for that. And I guess if you want to go to Utah, talk about Utah side of things. Like I said, I'm obviously the roster not anything crazy, but I do like the way they're headed in terms of their rebuild / retool. I already covered the three guys that we just talked about. But all those picks that they got from our trade and then from the Gobert trade
they got 13 first-round picks between Gobert and Mitchell.
That's insane. Like that's insane. Like it's got to be them and
also a collection of players too that they could it's either veterans they could also flip like. We'll talk about a little bit later for Aaron. Like they already flipped Beverly into THT and Stanley Johnson, and then they got guys like Sexton now. They got Lowry, Oshai, Vanderbilt, Walker Kessler, like all these other young guys. Yeah. Last year they got Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the deadline. They got all these young guys that they can they're unproven. They just need some playing time to kind of hone their craft to get themselves going in the league. So
I like their team, bro. I want to watch them. I want to see I like the collection of like pieces that they got, but
it's just like a random group of players.
Honestly,
it is entirely.
But no, that's what I'm saying. But like I feel like that's what I'm saying. I think like Ainge has done a good job of collecting those pieces of going to the future. Like they'll be fine. And like you said, like they still have Bogdanovich on the roster. I mean, I guess if you want to transition, I guess it's the Lakers thing because it's like. I mean, who's going to trade for Conley? I have no idea. But if it's anything, it might be the Lakers. But I mean, Aaron, if you want to talk about that, if you want to get that started, kind of preface that.
Aaron, before we get into the fit, you've been a pretty vocal Patrick Beverly hater over the last however many years.
My fault.
Now he's coming to your team. How is your perspective on? Do you think Patrick Beverly is actually an impactful NBA player now? Because you were on record to say that he was running around doing nothing before.
That wasn't just me, but actually, hold on. Before that, I didn't want to interrupt Christy beforehand, but just click on the Okoro thing. That I feel like Okoro's 3-point shooting first of all, it's a must that he should improve. But honestly, I feel like now he's gonna get even more looks because if you think of a starting five of him, Garland, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley. Like I feel like the last person. I'm not saying I'm not being trying to be disrespectful, but like out of those five, like I feel like Isaac should be getting the least like amount of looks on the defensive end. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So like I feel like he'll definitely have the chance to improve more. I don't know what the starting lineup's gonna be like. I feel like that's probably what's gonna be
It's
though.
probably going to be
Like,
that. Yeah.
But the only thing
but
that's
like
wrong with that too is that last year he was like literally like one of the most open players on every shot he took last year from
yeah,
three, and he still
a
wasn't able to
corner at
convert
least.
them.
I remember that.
Mhm.
I mean, not like I feel like you should get way more looks now. Like I feel like defenses are gonna be not like sagging off, but they're gonna have bigger worries with Mitchell there because Colin wasn't there the whole season basically. So like you had like I'm not saying there wasn't as many options, but now adding Mitchell it's more lethal. So I feel like you're gonna have more options there
For
to
sure.
like but all right, well, yeah, well, damn it. I mean, that is pretty damning to me. I didn't think this day would ever come. I seen that post, Pat Bev on the Lakers. It's like a my league move. Uh, I mean, mine. First of all, that wasn't just me, by the way, saying he ran around doing nothing. I still felt that way low key, but like I don't
Wait,
know,
Aiden, what did you call him again? What did you say it was?
like he was like a player that runs around.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, initial thought, I saw it, I was like, okay. Like, I mean, it's not a first of all, like if you think about it, well, my first reaction was I wish we didn't trade Stanley Johnson. That was my first initial reaction. I was kind of hoping we didn't do that, but apparently it's for
Agreed.
a salary filler, and I apparently he wasn't even gonna be in the rotation, which was really weird to me.
Because
Like
he's
I
not
just
signed to
don't.
Clutch Sports.
Yeah, he's like the one of the only wing dudes we had left. We weren't gonna play him. I don't buy that.
He was
I
like your
buy
fourth best
this.
player last year, which is pretty sad. But
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But what's it called? I don't know. Like I saw the trade, and like if that's the only trade we're gonna make, which I hope not, and I don't think it will be. Like I hope it's a precursor to another like a Westbrook trade because if that's the only trade, then this doesn't really lift the ceiling or the floor up at all. Like it's definitely what we needed, like a defensive dude, like a guy that's just gonna like try to be a nuisance and bring the best out of like AD and obviously I mean we're not gonna bring the best out of LeBron. He's gonna do that himself, but like I feel like that's the type of dude that like we need is like because no one showed that kind of like passion last year, and we need that dude who's just gonna be like relentless, like every minute, every game, he's just gonna bring his all. Like that energy is what we missed. But I feel like if that's the only trade that's gonna happen, then it's like I mean it's gonna be like the energy is gonna be nice if we win at least. But I feel like I'm hoping that's a precursor to a deal that's supposed to come. Hopefully it's whether it's like a Pacers deal or the Jazz deal. I saw a Spurs deal. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It was like McDermott and Richardson, I think. I'm like, I
okay,
don't know if it's
no
gonna happen.
sense.
Ugh, that'd be disgusting.
Yeah, I don't. I first of all, that was the first option. Let alone, I didn't even take it seriously because I didn't think it would happen either way. But
They're just saying naming teams with cap space who would be willing to take the picks.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, but I don't know what's happening with this Pacers deal because like
They
I
gotta
heard
stop
that
drooling, bro.
rumor, huh?
They gotta stop being annoying.
Well,
They pull somewhere else.
well honestly, I'm on that wave kind of with the FM picks kind of thing because like it's those picks that are 2027, 2029. You don't know how good or bad we would be, but you got to think worst case scenario, like you're gonna be terrible and like you don't have any draft picks, like you're in a bad spot. Like that's probably what it is. But I don't know. Like the Pacers were saying like we want Russ, two picks, and THT, and I guess that's kind of like I saw that rumor floating around. It's kind of like that's like way too much. I feel like they're trying to fleece us. And then obviously THT got traded, so it would be Russ the 2 picks, and we're still reluctant to trade the picks. Like I understand, but then again, it's like if you want to win now, which you don't know how many years like you have left of a, like a I feel like LeBron's always going to be good, but like
It's like we said
LeBron's
the
good
last
for 2 years
episode.
left.
It's like you're not going to have LeBron James and Anthony Davis forever. Like you need to
Yeah,
capitalize on that now.
and like I thought of another thing. It's like those picks. Like, what are the chances of those picks being a LeBron James or something of that caliber? And it's like it's years from now, so you don't even know what's gonna happen. Like you have no idea. Like obviously, like those picks are important, but I don't want to think of the downside of this. Because obviously I want him to be here for a while, but like if LeBron leaves, and I know LeBron and AD's contracts are gone at the same time, like they expire at the same time, but if we were to trade like AD or something, we could definitely get a first rounder at
recoup
least off
value.
of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there. Yeah, so like there's that option still. Obviously, like I wouldn't want that to happen, but if worst case scenario, like you still have that option. Like we don't have like all bums on the roster where like it's just like completely gone, can't get anything back. But
You're also
I
in LA too, so it's like the chances of you LA not being able to sign another
yeah,
good free
it's
agent
like
by 2029 is like pretty low.
Yeah.
yeah, that's another thing. It's like the market. I was looking at the Jazz like because like obviously like my reaction of seeing a trade is like going to like each team's like fan base and seeing what their reaction is. And I saw Jazz fans like kind of like upset because like it's Utah. It's like a small market. Like you're not gonna get like unless like you have those draft picks like hit and they're like actual good draft picks. Other than that, like you don't really see big free agents want it's like, yo, I'm gonna go to Utah. And it's
Small
like a
market
small
teams
market
need the
team.
picks. That's the only way they could build a championship level
Yeah.
roster.
I mean,
It's
yeah, that's
through
what
through
yeah.
trades and through drafting. You got to own your draft picks. You got to be able to cash in those picks for better players because the chances of a top free agent going to your team are smaller than like an LA or like a New York or a Boston, something like that.
Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean the draft is the most important part. Like
And that's why
what
teams like the
sets you
Jazz and the
apart.
Thunder now are like accumulating all these assets because that's what they need to do. Like some of these picks definitely got to hit in some way or another. Like if the more you have, the more of a chance you have of getting someone who's going to change your franchise. And then the more you have, once like a star, like for example with Cleveland now, like when a star like Donovan Mitchell becomes available, you have these picks that you can cash in and you can bring them to your city and your team.
Yeah.
Play alongside those other players that you draft.
The draft is the most important part, like aspect. Like you have to be able to hit on at least a few. But I don't know. Overall, I think this trade doesn't move much. Like we probably raised our win total to I want to say at most 4 wins. Like I'm still like
It's a good
I'm not
start.
a I mean, yeah, I'm not a pessimistic person, but like after this last year, like obviously it's a big roster change, but I still don't think that this is it's a good start, obviously. We need that energy, but I feel like we have to make a Westbrook trade. Either I don't like the Jazz trade, I don't really like Bogdanovich, Conley. I don't know how much that moves the needle either with the age
That's
part, but
certainly those are two
it's
guys
better,
who can
but
play next to LeBron and fit
they could.
seamlessly into their offense.
Yeah. That or I mean the Buddy and Miles deal, like I feel like I want that more than the Jazz. I feel like the Jazz deal is what's going to happen if anything does happen now. Well, I wouldn't mind because like that's like you said, those players are the most ideal players of LeBron. They're not really good defensive players, but like to space the floor at least, you know what I mean? So that's we just got to see
Off
what happens.
experience.
Yeah. No, what's it
Yeah.
called? I think like the funny thing about this entire situation, I think it's like the way it is. I don't know what Indy's on. I think what Indy was waiting for is to see how like the New York Utah thing was going to go and how Mitchell situation was going to go. And I think they're going to try to sneak in, do something like that. But now that that's over, I feel like you might see like Indiana and LA start talking again. You might honestly, I have no idea, speculation, but But if they don't, and I'll also actually no, before I said if they don't, it's weird that Indy hasn't really pulled the trigger yet, just because I feel like you're getting Westbrook's expiring contract, right? It's his last year. That's a lot of money that's expiring. Um, A, and then B, you're getting 2 first-round picks, future first-round picks, and then C, it's like you're opening up space for your young guys, right? You're talking about like like Duarte and Halliburton getting more run and burn, and then what's it called? Jalen Smith, like you know what I mean? Like what if Turner's gone, it opens up minutes for him. It's like it opens up spots. Like you're opening up salary, and then on top of that, you're getting 2 future first. You know what I mean? So for me, it's kind of weird that Indy hasn't done it yet. But I mean, if they want to keep waiting, I mean, go. I mean, I guess it's on them. But I'm saying, huh?
Sorry to cut you off, but it's just like I feel like they just want like a few veteran guys who could at least be there to play around all their young guys. Like, because Turner and Hield are like their last 2 veterans on the team, pretty much. And other than that, then like with especially with Halliburton now, like they've said that they want a guy like Turner to play next to Halliburton because like he's a pretty versatile big. He can stretch the floor. He can like I don't know if you guys remember, but before Sabonis was like in Indiana, Turner was like a pretty good like post like low like pick and roll guy when he was playing next to what's his face. That was when Darren Collison was still there. They were in that. I think it was the 2017 series against Cleveland. Turner actually played really well, like especially down low. And I feel like especially considering the fact that he's had all this injury trouble the last few years, and he hasn't really been able to like showcase what he's been able to do at full health yet. And also the fact that he's been in trade rumors for like 4 or 5 years now, and he's still stuck around all these years and embraced the city and the fans. I feel like they probably owe him something, and they want him to play like at least give it a try with him in this core they have now. See what he's got, like especially without Sabonis there now.
Yeah, no, probably. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, regardless, I'm just saying because I feel like the way that Indy's been handling things, that they don't really strike me as like let's do right by the vets. I mean, that could be the case too. I don't know, but moving on to like Utah, like I feel like now that Utah got the Mitchell situation out of the way, like I feel like they're probably calling up like LA, right? They're probably talking like right now actively. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Because like we all know, like obviously like Bogdanovich is a hot commodity, but then like I said earlier, like Conley. Like dude kind of fell off, but I mean he could still give you some serviceable minutes, I guess. Like his contract is atrocious, so like not many teams are gonna be lining up to get him.
Still like a vocal leader, playoff. He's got playoff experience. No, he's
yeah, exactly.
What
right.
what is
if
his
he's like coming off a
contract?
bench or something like that. He's like a little over 20 mil a year, I think now for the next. I don't know if it's expiring or 2 years left. I forget.
I think there's like 2 years left. It's not. I don't think it's expiring. I don't think it's expiring. There's still like at least like 1 or 2.
I know that like huge max that he signed ended and they re-signed him again, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I know it was under a max.
Yeah, but that's the only issue, right? It's just like all right, if I'm LA, like again, like you had like at this point, like you have to do like after everything that happened, you have to do a move. But I feel like I guess more than likely it might just be Utah now, just because they got everything settled down now. They might just be going for more picks, like the 2 Lakers picks, and then again expiring salary. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like it might be Utah more than likely, but as a LeBron fan, me personally, I prefer the Indiana deal, but I feel like like you guys just said, it's like like if they have to settle for the Utah deal, not like settle, but you know what I mean. It's like all right, you're still getting like a Bogdanovich who's a really good shooter. Put that on off ball next to LeBron, and then Conley, like we just said, you can bring in like pretty good point guard duties to the floor. He's a pretty good shooter as well. So so I think I mean. Either of those deals that can't go wrong, but if I'm the Lakers, I'd still try to like be like, yo, Indy, are you sure? If not, you know what I mean, go to Utah. That's just how I see it. You know what I mean? But as far as the Patrick Beverley thing goes, I'm happy the Patrick Beverley thing happened because Bev's my boy, and now that him and Braun are team up, it's an ideal scenario. Like I want to see this happen for a minute now. So
it's still wild to me that Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley are teammates.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, it's not like this roster is not built for that. Like, I feel like it doesn't make any sense. Like there has to be some kind of move coming, even though like I feel like they have to, like Darvin Ham and like all these, like there was like Byron Scott talking about it today, and Pat Bev and LeBron, they're like all hyping up Russ. Obviously you can't like trash him because that just ruins your leverage. But
I mean I mean, Russ was also talking up Kuzma the other year, saying, "Oh yeah, Kuz, most improved player." Like a month later, gets
Yeah,
traded.
but it's
Oh,
a
bro, I
unit
swear I
thing.
had
It's
no
just
idea that was happening. I swear.
yeah, you can't talk like smack on your teammate, or that's just gonna ruin your leverage. Especially if you're LeBron, you can't do that. But it's like I don't know, like this roster is just not it's not complete. It doesn't make sense that this roster would go out like this. I just don't see it. I hope I'm right because like I wouldn't want to watch like a repeat of last year. Obviously, like that was depressing as it was, but we did get younger, which is a good thing. But like JTA, Troy Daniels, with Lonnie Walker, those are the most questionable. I really still don't know how I feel about Lonnie Walker, but
But yeah,
honestly,
Pat Bev is
yeah,
like, especially for a team like the Lakers, who last year had like a lot of internal, like even like not even looking at the stuff on court, like the internal like trouble that happened to them throughout the season with Russ and the coaching staff and all that. Like,
yeah,
and then like a lot of people like being frustrated with him and everything, and him about his role. And then also the on court stuff with like just their struggles with defense and all these guys like knowing where they're supposed to be at the right times, who's going to be playing, who is deserves minutes. I feel like Pat Bev is the type of guy you want in that locker room. Like he's like a culture
oh
setter
yeah,
and like an on court leader. Like we saw what he did with that Minnesota team last year. Like kind of like those guys have been struggling to like put it together for years. Like, but he and then they all talk about him coming to the team, how he kind of like changed their perspective on a lot of things and like what they're supposed to be doing, playing their role the right way, knowing what to do on defense and where to be in certain locations. Like Pat Bev is the type of guy you want for that. But then again, also like when you think about his history with Russ
mm,
and his personality in general, like if he's never really been one to change his mind or his perspective on the game, like how he wants to play. Like he's not going to want to be benched in late in games. I know he's going to have a problem with that, but especially a guy like and Pat Bev, like no matter who's on his team, he's going to defend them and he's going to be like, "That's my teammate. I'm going to stick up for him." But and we even see on Twitter like Beverly is like saying like, "Yeah, me and Russ talked. We're going to be good and we're going to try to make it work." But then again, like Beverly did injure Russ, and Russ has been like holding a grudge on him his whole career since then, pretty much. So it's going to be like I don't know if Russ is the type of guy whose perspective you can change in that type of regard.
yeah. It's also alarming that Pat Bev is our best 3-point shooter statistically. So that's very alarming when
Hey,
I
he's a good
saw
fit.
that. I
No,
mean
but
like
yeah, if you've
it's
seen
a
his game
culture
last year,
change.
like he made a lot of like he made a really huge improvement on like in terms of his jump shot. Like his catch and shoot got a
I
lot
mean,
better.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's good, obviously, like, but still, I mean, like I could trust LeBron to like hit threes down. That's like, but besides them, like Lonnie Walker was saying, yeah, leave me open. It's gonna be a problem. I mean, like, okay, like, all right, we'll see what happens. But other than that, honestly, the biggest thing is before we segment to something else, but like, it doesn't matter what happens if this roster is the same or if we make a trade. Like the whole season, I honestly like will say my list relies on if AD goes back to his normal self because if he doesn't, or if he's like hurt, or if he just doesn't go back to that like I am a defensive player of the year player every single night, which he like literally has the ability to if he wanted to every single night, then like this whole season is just it's under the bus. Like it
Under
just
the genie
doesn't work.
bus.
I was about to say that.
I that thought in
Arr!
my head came up.
Arr!
How you feeling about that Lakers doc so far?
I mean, I don't even know what's been going on, bro. I have trouble focusing.
Did you? Oh,
I
but
still have
yeah,
not gotten around to that. I gotta watch it.
that's good. I like it a lot.
No,
It's really
it's
good.
good. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
They're still in like the '80s part, or like they're like in the '90s now.
They should have started with
But
Will Chamberlain though. That's just me.
yeah, yeah, they could have. They just started with Showtime though.
Yeah.
It's still good. I
They
like
could have
it.
showed
I
all
can't
the
wait
years
till
of
they.
losing in the
Huh?
'90s. I mean, in the '70s.
Uh, yeah, when we were in Minneapolis. I mean, it's gonna get to that part because
No,
they
I
just
feel like they could have done like a pregame episode where it's like, oh, it's like Jerry West and Baylor, and then Will, and then they could have been like, oh, and then we were Ash for
yeah
like 70s, and you know
they
what I
didn't
mean?
mention them at all.
Yeah.
except Jerry West. Obviously, he's still there around, but
But that was
they
what
didn't
they
mention
expected
any
of
of
Jerry
them.
West, not really like the player Jerry West. You know what I mean? Like it's weird.
Yeah,
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 I don't
they're
know.
like in the '90s now, so it's like they just had like the Magic Johnson like AIDS announcement thing. Like
Yeah.
that's the last thing that happened. So
Mhm.
I want to see like I really am excited to see like the Shaq and Kobe thing, like how that behind the scenes part. But
Yeah,
yeah,
those are.
either
But if you
way,
guys haven't watched that or Winning Time, definitely check that out because two very good shows.
Two
How many
very
episodes
different
just came
shows
out?
too, but they're both
yeah, very
Yeah,
different, but
two very different shows. John C. Riley, shout out. Uh, but I'm a huge Lakers guy, so it doesn't matter, right, Aaron?
yes, this is our
Yes,
team,
that's sir.
our team forever.
Our team full of legends, baby. Come on.
Christy, you were saying earlier that one of your most anticipated teams to watch this year was going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder, but we got the unfortunate news a few weeks
Oh
ago
yes,
that Chet Holmgren will not be able to play this year with what was it, Liz Frank?
yeah.
Yeah,
He had a Liz Frank injury, and he's going to be out the whole season, which is really unfortunate because I was really looking forward to watching that team too. Like just that collection of young guys, all the length, the shooting. Watching them develop together was going to be so fun this year. Like I didn't think they were going to be super competitive or anything, but you got a guy like Shea, the development from guys like Giddy and Dort and Ken. Like I know Kenrich Williams, like he's not like a household name or anything like that, but they brought him back. He was a really fun hustle guy, like just a really fun collection of guys who are like really would be a really interesting team to watch. And
One
now,
thing I will say though, I don't want to cut you off, but one thing I will say is obviously it sucks. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, now I can't watch OKC anymore." Blah blah. Blah. Like, bro, they still have really good players. You know what I mean? It's like people are kind of weird with that shit. But all right, my
still
fault.
watchable, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But it's just like that number 2 pick, this guy that you know they've been waiting for all this time, like these last few years, like getting all these draft picks, and then finally you score, you get the number 2 pick, you draft Chet, you're ready for him to come in and contribute to your team, and then just like some freak accident happens like that in a pro-am game. It's just so unfortunate.
yeah. Do you see remember how like they were like, oh, Shet is like so cocky. I saw like as soon as that happened, everyone was like, yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah,
Team
that's
stock. I'm
weird.
like, damn, like,
Yeah, that's
damn,
really
bro.
weird. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, because I said that too. Like drafting, I thought he was like, oh, he's cocky as shit. Like obviously, that was weird to me. But people are like, oh yeah, he deserved. That's just so weird to me, bro. It's like the same thing with that. Remember, like when Jonathan Isaac got injured, like he tore his ACL, they were like, oh yeah, that's what you get. Like, bro, how do you type that out and like, you know what I mean? Like,
And then everyone's saying like, oh, I knew he was going to be a bust, and it's just like, no, he hasn't played yet. Like, what are you talking about?
bro, what is that even?
You saw what he did in the
this-
summer league too.
I can't-
like obviously it's just
can't.
summer league, but he showed like a lot of flashes of like extreme versatility, like such a unique big, like another one of these like unicorn type players that are coming in the league and going to be exciting to watch develop. It's just like, how are you gonna like how are you gonna watch him have one injury and then be like, oh yeah, I knew he was gonna be a bust. I told you guys he wasn't gonna be as good as Jabari Smith.
No, that ass.
I just can't take them. I can't take them seriously. Like, the only like reason I like actually get bad is like if like like I'm like in a bad mood because like a loss or something, and I see like comments like that just piss me off. But like other than that, like on a normal day, like just like it's just a joke. Like you can't take it seriously.
It's just like, and just in general, I hate the term bust. Just like everybody talks about like, oh, Greg Oden, huge bust. It's just like, no, when he played, he actually was like a really good player, and he was it seemed like he was gonna have a really bright future. But then all these injuries just completely derailed his career.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing too, because I heard also like Aaron, if you want to back me up with your PT knowledge, I heard like Liz Frank and foot stuff are like terrible for big men. That's why like Odin was screwed after he had his, and then that's what I mean. Like God forbid it happens to to Chet, but like it's this is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like it sucks, but at the same time, it's like I know like earlier we said like the Thunder should try to compete as hard as they can and like try not to lose games on purpose, but dude, if they get like Wembanyama next year, bro, like it's gonna be insane. Like they have like Dieng at the 3, and then like Chet at the 4, and then like both, like when or like you know what I mean, vice versa. You know what I mean? Like Yeah, like
Poku's gonna be out of the league by that time, bro. He's so
Yeah,
terrible.
Goku's like Dogecoin. You know what I mean? It's like I never bought any of that shit, but like it's like it came down to earth. Like
what
It's
pick
just
is
like
he?
I liked the draft pick too at the time, and I was like, oh, okay, I really thought he was an interesting player, but then just like watching it, he's going into his third year, and he was still getting like cooked in the G League, not being able to do anything, or not in the G League, in the
yeah,
Summer League.
summer
Like, it's like
league.
all
Yeah,
these incoming rookies and undrafted players. I'm like, just like, bro, it's hopeless right now.
I don't
Like,
think he's
obviously,
even
it's
been
not because
able to
he's
like.
still a third year player, but
yeah.
I don't even think
I'm selling my stock.
he hasn't even been able to put on weight either. I don't feel like.
Nah, hasn't been eating at all, bro. It's crazy. They should. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, regardless of like, I'm still gonna try to catch as much as I can. But yeah, no, it's gonna be. It sucks that it happened, but I mean, again, like hopefully that's just like all right. They can if they get like Wemby next year, that'd be insane. Like it's either gonna be them or Utah. You know what I mean? But because it's they're going back and
Can
forth.
you like? You just think about it. Like teams are already trying to tank. Like imagine like that's how good you are. Like teams are already trying to tank for you before the season even starts. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be fun for sure. But yeah, what else do we got to talk about? Oh yeah, and then what's his face got injured too? Gallinari.
Gallinari and Gary Harris, bro.
Yeah, it
Gal,
sucked.
it's like Gallo was playing overseas for Italy and got hurt. At first they were like, yeah, it wasn't. There was no ACL damage. I was like, oh, that's really good. But then they were like, yeah, he tore his Achilles though, and I was like,
No, it's meniscus,
oh,
meniscus.
meniscus. That's what it was. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which I mean, it's like, bro, it's like
that's a quicker recovery than ACL,
yeah.
obviously. But still, it's just like he's gonna be out
Mhm.
for a little bit, so that
Mhm.
sucks. And then
Yeah, no, but I
Gary
was saying,
Harris,
bro, like God got his ACL, bro, because y'all saw that picture, right? Like that shit
yeah, that was insane. I
was
was
like
like, oh, he's
crazy.
done.
Yeah, but I guess that's whatever. So I
Gary
guess like
Harris was ACL, right?
no. I forgot what it was. Was it ACL? No.
I thought it was. I thought that's what I saw.
Oh, who was ACL? Was it Gary Harris? No way.
I know Gary Harris got hurt, and he's likely, and I know they say he's likely going to be out for the season, but I forget. Wasn't ACL? Let me check.
I thought it was like
Oh, meniscus also.
oh yeah, meniscus. Oh yeah.
So still going to miss a portion of time, but
Mm.
yeah, that sucks for him too because last year he had such a great bounce back year with Orlando, coming off their bench and like being that veteran guy for that young team. Shot like I think it was 40% from three last year again after like his three fell off the last couple of years.
Yeah.
From his like he came into Denver was like a 17 point. He was like their leading
Oh,
scorer.
he was getting buckets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was getting
And
buckets.
then he got an injury there too that kind of like slowed him down. And then he with Orlando last year, he was kind of like having like a rehab year and bounce back. He was like clamping up again, hitting a lot of his threes.
Yeah.
And then this year he was like he has like a certified spot in their rotation. They're supposed to have like not like playoff aspirations, I guess, but like they're going to be like a more competitive, like maybe 10th seed, like in the contention for the 10th seed, I guess. And now he's going to be out too, which sucks, man. At least he got his bag though before he got hurt.
Yeah, right before. That
Yeah.
would suck. That would suck. Imagine if you're in contract negotiations and that happens. That would suck.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it happened to Colin, man. And it sucks, but at least he got paid now. At least he got the money he wanted. That's the one thing I will say. Forgot to say earlier, is like it sucks, but at least he got his bread. Same thing with Gary Harris. At least like they secured the bread first. You know what I mean? It's like that's what it is at this point. But
You guys want to talk about the schedule?
yeah, let's talk about the schedule.
So we want to start with opening night.
Yeah, screw it. I mean, wait, I gotta pull it up.
I got it right here. Opening night,
You're trying to share
October
screen.
18th. Share screen. I don't want my internet to go crazy. What's it called? Opening night is going to be Sixers, Celtics, and Lakers, Warriors opening the season, which I'm very excited about. But now that I'm in class at night on Tuesdays, I'm going to have to miss the Sixers Celtics game, which is awesome. Terrible. I'm not going to say that, but I'm pretty upset.
Not gonna say what.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what? Say it.
Damn.
No. But yeah, I'm very upset about that. But I'll watch the replay afterwards on League Pass, which is going to be at a much discounted price this year. So you guys should definitely cop if you have the chance. Well, I mean, Aaron, you're probably not going to watch basketball anyway, but Christy, you should definitely cop.
No, I gotta see my finances lie. I might still be, on the 7 Cs. Ahoy, matey. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I might because honestly, 56% is a lot. So I mean, I might.
It's going to be like only 100 a year, I think, which is probably like what was that, less than Netflix? That's tough.
Something like that. Yeah, I think so. Honestly, yeah, you're right.
Mm.
Actually, I'm gonna just say screw it and do it.
But yeah, anyway, back to the games. Sixers, Celtics, Lakers, Warriors to open the night on opening night. What are you guys most excited about for those games?
Aaron, you want to go first?
Oh, I mean, it's just like first of all, like the off season, you already have like those additions like Brogdon from the Celtics, and you have PJ Tucker. I forgot who the Celtics got. Well, Gallo's injured, but like Brogdon, you have all these pieces coming back. It's like the beginning of the season, so I feel like is the game in Philly or is it in Boston?
It's in Boston.
Oh, yeah. I mean, either way, like Philly and Boston, like that's a pretty like energetic matchup. It's always been, and now you have these like that they're two top teams in the East. That's going to be a big matchup. So I mean, I'm just looking forward to seeing like that energy. You know what I mean? It's always been there, and like Lakers Warriors, like that's of course they had a big rig night, and I hope we don't lose by 30 on national television. But
Once
you just
Kyle Anderson
gotta.
gets to receive his ring from the Lakers at the
Oh yeah, I didn't realize
at Chase
that.
Center.
I just hope LeBron sees that, gets mad, drops 50. Well, actually, I don't want it to drop 50. I want it to be a good team win, but the 50 piece will be nice and W.
Yeah, the opening week, there's a lot of pretty solid games. I thought it was weird. Night 2, New York and Memphis is the national TV game, which is it's cool to see Memphis on national TV because last year they didn't get a lot despite being like a really up and coming team, finishing the 2nd seed. So it's good to see them have a lot of national TV games this year. But the Knicks this early.
We're getting the mid 3. We're getting the mid 3 on TV.
Maybe wait a little bit, not opening week. But then you also get the Dallas Phoenix rematch on ESPN that night too. So that should be like a good little rivalry game there after what happened.
Let's go Dallas. I'm a Dallas fan.
Honestly, I feel like our game is gonna be fun too. Cavs Raptors, bro. That's gonna be a fire.
When's that?
Huh?
Is that their opening game?
Yeah, 7:30.
Oh,
I don't know why it's not like an 8 p.m. like primetime game, but whatever.
Yeah. And then Milwaukee Sixers and Clippers Lakers the third night, which are going to be another 2 great games.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for the start of the season. Did you guys see that whole rivalry week thing? They have a rivalry.
Dude, that's gonna be so fire. Yeah, but it's weird.
I want to go through that real fast. I have it up right here. It's it's January 24th to 28th. These are going to be the national TV games. It's going to be Lakers Celtics that week. And then also it's going to be Knicks Nets, Clippers Lakers, like some inter city rivalries. And then Mavs Suns again, then Grizzlies Wolves, that whole like Celtics Heat, Grizzlies Warriors, all these like these playoff rivalries that happened last season. So those should be fun. What's it called? And then there was also at the end of the week they have Nets and Sixers, so it's going to be Ben Simmons going back to Philly, hopefully playing, and then Harden against Nets, obviously. So
yes, we'll see.
I think
been a long time coming.
I'm still my guy. I don't care what anybody says. And it was also Bulls Hornets, which is like the Ball brothers going against each other.
Which I thought was kind of weird. Like, bro, okay, so that's what I'm saying. I was listening to the Cavs podcast with Cavs Antidote, Steve, remember?
Yeah.
And they were talking about the Rivals Week too. And I think it's like games like that is like kind of weird. It's like, all right, we get it. It's like, okay, the brothers are there, whatever, fine. But it's not really anything like crazy. Like, again, no bias, but like we're not playing like the Raptors. Who are the Raptors playing that night?
I don't know.
Wait, what week was it? 21st, right? You said?
No. 24th, 28th in January.
24th.
It just feels like a reason to put the Hornets on TV.
Yeah, like that felt like forced, and then
yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this, John. Hold up.
I mean, it's still like it's for the ratings, obviously, but it's like a good addition still.
Yeah, no, but hold up, bro, I'm tripping right now. Hold up. Rivals.
Look up NBA rivalry week.
Yeah, it's like, and then I think Sixers Nuggets is that week too. So like the rivalry that's not really a rivalry, but it's just like the fans are rivals of each other.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of
the 2 best players in the league going head to head. Like, still a great game, fun game to have that week. But it's just like the whole rivalry aspect. Like, I mean, obviously in the NBA, like the term rivalry is used pretty loosely with a lot of these. It's like more so just like who played each other in the playoffs and like was there like a little bit there was like some intensity. There's not really many like other than like Celtics Lakers and like Clippers Lakers and Nets Knicks. Like there's not really many like big rivalries in the NBA now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I found the two games. All right, so okay, so like I said, the Bulls Hornets thing is I think is forced, and then the Raptors Warriors game, which I think is even more dumber because
That's kind of forced.
that's like really a forced rival, bro. That was like literally 1 year. Like again, no bias, but if anything, it should have been
Yeah,
us.
and Kawhi's gone too now. Like,
Yeah, exactly, right. So it's like, all right, what is like the Pat McCall supremacy game? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if anything, like if you're having the Warriors on that
McCall.
night,
I
like
forgot about him.
like play us. You know, again, no bias, but like if the Warriors gonna be on, like play us or like I don't know whoever else. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was just a weird ass like forced thing to me. Like, bro, no one. That is not a rivalry, bro. Like no one talks about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, whatever. I just had to say that because
Yeah.
I didn't even peep that until those podcaster bulls like said it, and I was like, bro, those two games, like, what were they thinking? Like, what were they cooking? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like there's not really many like real rivalries. It's just more so like just recent history who were like some teams who matched up in the playoffs pretty much and
Yeah.
like had some like words for each other pretty much. That's pretty much
Right. Yeah, that's
It's
kind
still
of
fresh energy. I mean,
yeah.
I still think it's fine. Like,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
yeah. I'll watch it for sure. Don't get me
It's a
wrong.
cool concept, like to have that whole week just these types of games. That's cool.
yeah. I mean, that should be like a stamp thing. I feel like now. I feel like they could have done earlier, but
Now, I think the funniest thing on the whole schedule is the day after the trade deadline, they have Jazz and Knicks on TNT. That is
yeah,
so
they're
funny to
regretting
me.
that now. That's gonna be such a stinker game. Like no, it's like nothing happening there.
They're like,
now.
oh, Donovan Mitchell going back to Utah for play for the Knicks, his hometown. Nope.
Yeah,
Now
You
you
had
have
to release
Julius
the-
Randle versus Colin Sexton on TNT.
Hey, I mean, hey, Aaron, you and I can watch that. I'll come over to watch that.
no, yeah, no,
Sign
no,
me
no.
up. I'll
That
watch that.
bro. Like, we're like,
Oh yeah,
we're more
THT on the
connected now.
Jazz.
THT Sexton. Wow, that's a duo we could both cheer for now.
Yeah, that's the dub. That's the dub. You know what? You know what?
And
Actually,
Clarkson, if he doesn't get traded.
And Clarkson. No, actually, oh, I forgot to talk about that. It's a rumor. I don't think it's gonna happen at all. But like, they were saying they're trying to get like a Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, or Clarkson included in the trade. I mean, probably the money works, but I don't see it happening. But it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
And then Christmas too. So the Christmas schedule is going to be Sixers Knicks to kick off. Always a game in the Garden. It's tradition at this point. So the Sixers and Knicks will play 12 o'clock. 2:30, the early game is going to be Mavs and Lakers. That'll
That's
be a fun one.
stupid.
yeah, that was
I
kind
don't
of
know.
crazy.
First of all, I don't know why it's in Dallas. Second of all, I don't know why we're playing Dallas. It
Because
should be
Dallas was better last year.
still, dude. It's like it's always Staples. Like it's got to be like we were like the 20-win team. We played LeBron's Miami, and it was still at Staples Center. Now I don't get that. Like it's all I feel like it should always be at Staples. Like it's LeBron now. But either way, I don't know why we're playing Dallas. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like
LeBron versus Luca. That's like a premier matchup.
yeah, but I want to play Boston. That's
Yeah,
why
I'd
I
rather
want to
see
play
Boston.
Christmas.
I'd rather see Boston.
Like we played the Warriors. Like
Well, they had the
For the
same for
Warriors.
rivalry week.
yeah. Oh, is that rivalry week? Is that in Boston or is that in LA?
No, let me check. I think it's in Boston.
Bro.
Aaron, never forget the Rondo game winner.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro, I was going crazy.
That shit had me-
I remember it was a Brandon Ingram like awful layup, and then that happened. That
Remember when
was
the
so
Lakers
awesome.
lost on Christmas last year to just James Harden in the Nets?
Yeah. Well, we all. I don't even did LeBron play.
Pretty sure
I
LeBron
don't
played.
even know. AD didn't play. It was
Yeah.
just yeah.
Is that the game that Claxton dunked on LeBron?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
But then also Christmas, we had Bucks Celtics at 5, Grizzlies Warriors, which was like pretty much just came about because Draymond and Ja were talking trash to each other on Twitter. Where Ja was like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys in Memphis on Christmas," and then Draymond was like, "Dog, we're the champions. We're playing in Golden State on Christmas." And he was like, "Oh, you right. I'll come there then." And then it happened.
Good.
I feel like they knew about it. I feel like they had to have known about it before. And they just like their PR people was like, yeah, tweet about this real quick. And like, yeah, but still.
And then finally, the MVP gets to play on Christmas. Nuggets and Suns is the 10:30 late game on Christmas. So that should be another good one.
Yeah. No, what's it called? I think out of those games, Boston and Milwaukee should be a really good game. Inshallah, hopefully the Lakers get better. So like that should be a good game too. And then um the Grizzlies and Warriors, man. Yeah, yeah.
It's just like the new like like the new like it's not a forced rivalry because I guess you could kind of sort of call it
Yeah.
just because of the energy, but like I don't know.
But at the same
Oh,
time, it's not like, oh, I needed this on Christmas type game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I'm still excited for it. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know. Like they got a mix of like established stars, like the current generation, like the future faces in the league, and then the currently established stars already. So I think they did a good job making the schedule this year.
Yeah, I guess. Another thing is I wanted to talk about too. I don't know if you guys, I mean, you guys probably peeped, but I guess I kind of sort of peeped. That there's like mini series like in the season now.
Oh
Um,
yeah, a lot of like back to back 2 game.
Yeah, they did that to like reduce the
the
traveling.
Yeah,
travel, yeah, which I think, bro, like after last season, like yes, like you guys are smart for this. Like you needed to
yeah,
do,
right.
you know what I mean? Like thank you, Adam Silver, for finally like you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like high key needed that like terribly, you know what I mean? Like, and it's cool too. It's like, all right, fine, obviously the whole health thing is a thing, but like that, like, you know, that low key series thing kind of there's like a bit of the drama, you know, that kind of exists. And
Drip
then
still in the MLB.
yeah, no, that is true. That is
Mm.
also true. They did drip to the MLB. Now, unfortunately, unlike the MLB, they don't play multiple times in a day, or you know what I mean, like every day for an entire week. Like I'll watch that. I swear I'll watch that. Like NBA, if you do that, like sign some random G leaguers to play the games. I don't care. I'll still watch it. Like just please. I need it like every day, bro. It's like a shot of adrenaline.
But then again, the NBA also did drip still. I mean the MLB drip still the NBA afterwards, and after all these years where there's 162 games played, they finally decided that every team will play each other starting next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That didn't make any
Oh
sense to me.
yeah, yeah,
I
that's ridiculous.
How are you gonna play 162 games and still not play
And not
everybody?
once cross pass.
Team that team. There's 30
You
teams in
play
the
like a
MLB
team
too.
like you play like a team like 12 times. Like, dude, like, are you
We
not sick of that? Like,
the divisional teams play each other like I think like almost half of your games are played against your division.
Jeez, bro, that's
God,
crazy.
it's like
I'd get mad as
five.
shit.
It's like 5 teams in your division too. Imagine if your
Mhm.
division is like awful, then you just get free dubs, basically.
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
That's
Um,
pretty stupid.
yeah, but I mean, no, but yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, it's like, yeah, it's good they added that because obviously the whole health concern was the entire thing last year, and like we just gotta do something like that. But um, yeah, I mean, is there anything else really? There's no in-season tournament. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Thank God. That'd be stupid. I'm glad they didn't do
I'm
that.
still not opposed to it, but it's like you need to have an incentive for it. Like there's nobody's gonna want to play unless you're getting something out of it. That's like worthwhile.
It's like a guaranteed roster spot. What? Oh, not a roster spot, playoff spot. Imagine.
The most winning division gets extra cap space for the summer.
That'd
All
be
5
pretty
teams.
crazy.
That'd be pretty cool. Again, utilize divisions, bro. Come on.
Well, I mean the cap's gonna spike in the next couple of years anyway. It's gonna be like 2016 all over again.
Yeah, facts. You can get
Yeah.
Mozgov getting that contract.
Alan Crabbe, $70 million.
Woo!
Oh,
Otto
my
Cooper,
team
Max
legend.
Steele,
Did Evan Turner get a lot of money too that year?
Evan Turner, Chandler Parsons.
I think like
Uh,
Wade got like an $84 million contract for like 2 years, something like that too.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was something that offseason.
I can't even
Uh,
imagine what the super maxes are gonna be then. It's gonna be
Oh,
like
people are
300
going. People
million.
are already making like 60 million in like the end of their supermax deals for like some
Yeah,
of them.
imagine
So they're gonna be in
imagine
like the
what,
70s.
dude. That is.
Oh yeah, no. What was
God.
what was Lillard's contract again? It was like what was it?
Like 2 years, 100 million, pretty much.
Yeah, like that's crazy, bro. Like that's like a 2 year max.
I mean, that's what
I mean,
LeBron got too.
Yeah.
that's like awesome for him too because now he has more years like to get newer contracts. Like the best case scenario for you is to get the highest amount of money on a short term contract rather than
That's what a
being
lot of the players are doing now too. That's why LeBron's doing that. Like every year,
yeah
basically, it's just like a 1+1. Just like
yeah.
I'm gonna get more money because the cap's gonna keep going up a little bit. So
It just gives you
I'll
flexibility.
opt out and then sign a new 1+1.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's crazy.
what's it called? What's it called? The Elam ending thing. Like I know it's not like going to come to the NBA anytime soon, but I saw them saying that they might experiment for like overtime, or if it goes to overtime, they might have like an Elam ending that way, so it doesn't go to like so many overtimes, which I think would
Oh,
be pretty interesting. But
I don't like that.
I mean, as like from a fan perspective, it's like yeah, like these like crazy double, triple overtime games are fun as hell to watch, like super intense. But then again, at the same time, it's just like even if they do like the Elam ending thing, I see why like from a player's perspective or health perspective, like that makes sense, I guess. And I feel like it would still like bring a lot of intensity down the stretch anyway, because these guys are gonna be like fighting for these stops. Like, oh, they're one basket away. We gotta stop them from winning.
But
Kind of
imagine
like
if
how
it
the
like
All-Star
ends on
game.
a imagine if it ends like on a free throw or something. Like
Yeah, I mean that it's inevitable that it's going to happen that way. I mean that's how most close games end anyway. Like if they have an opportunity to tie and you miss the shot, you're going to foul the other team until they miss one anyway. So
No, the quick fix around that is like, yo, make it interesting, make it interesting.
yeah, you won't miss one.
You want this one?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I'm pussy.
yeah.
But yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, that's gonna be interesting for sure. And it's like, yeah, you usually see the trend where it's like if they add a thing to the G League, you'll probably see the NBA. So I mean, if they do it, that'd be interesting, I guess. Like, I mean, it's fun in the All-Star game, but I mean, let's see how it works out in the actual, regular season itself. But is that everything? Did we touch upon everything?
I think so.
I bet.
Next episode, I say now, especially now that the trades are pretty much done now. Like we know the Nets are going to be what they are. Like KD and Kyrie are going to be staying there. Donovan Mitchell situation is done now, so it seems like all the teams are for the most part pretty set, aside from like a few moves here and there, I guess.
Like the Lakers and stuff, and then see what
Yeah.
happens.
So, I wanted to look at the over unders for every team. We could do that next episode. I would say.
All right, bet, yeah. And
Yeah.
also I'm predicting right now that Cam Reddish will be a Cleveland Cavalier, because we have normal wing depth and they're gonna bring him in. For Dylan Windler, actually no, for Teddy Osmond, and that's it. But
Okay.
yeah, that's yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is more of a loaded episode. We were supposed to do the schedule episode like last week or the week before, actually, I think. Whenever it came out, I don't know, but we just didn't get around to doing it. So it was a bigger episode. So sorry about that. But again, like it was a crazy day today. Obviously, after everything that happened today, there's an emergency podcast that was necessary. So I'm glad that we were able to get that out of the way. And we're like a month away, like a month and like a week, right? I think like the 8th, I think is preseason.
I think it's like the 30th, like September 30th. Like that's the day. That's the day of the Warriors and was it Wizards who are playing in where they playing Mexico City, something like that.
Oh, my
Or
fault.
no, actually it might be
Oh.
Asia. I think there might be. Hang on,
Asia.
because it's like a really early game, so it wouldn't be Mexico.
No, I
I'm
think
pretty
it's
sure
a
there's a
month.
Mexico game. Yeah, it's
I think
Where's
Warriors
there's
Mexico?
a
Wizards in. I think it's in Japan.
So that's the 30th.
Yeah, September 30th at 6 a.m.
Oh fuck. Oh, I can't say that. Wait, when's the Mexico game?
I gotta see. I forget. I forget who's playing. I gotta see who it is, but
Yeah, but all right. So all right, we got like what 3 weeks left, bro. Thank the Lord Jesus, bro. I'm so tired of this. Like I love the summer, bro. That's like, the worst part of the summer is like there's no sports. But anyway, Aaron, of course, for you, the NFL season's coming back. Um,
1 week.
yes, sir. And we got the inferior Gardner on the team, so that's cool.
There's two Gardeners now.
MLB playoffs approaching. I'll be locked in for that before the MLB before the NBA
I'll, I'll,
starts.
I'll, I'll probably actually start watching that MLB playoffs too, just because.
No, like I could see why you wouldn't want to watch like every regular season game. It makes sense. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them are like extremely entertaining all the time, but the playoff energy in baseball is actually insane. It's so fun to watch.
Speaking of which,
And
we had a
the
game
World Cup.
and the
The
World Cup.
Cup.
You're right, bro.
That's
We're loaded.
crazy.
We're loaded. We're strapped.
And it's on my birthday. It's my birthday. That's awesome.
Wait, when
Yeah,
did
but
I have? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but
No.
Aaron, during that time, the NBA is going to be playing, so World Cup is chalked.
Oh, true. And
That's
also
not what
got
the world says.
yeah, the Renegade. We're actually also announcing the Floor Spacers League held at Hatboro, Pennsylvania, at Renegades Kelly Ballas Gym.
Yes.
Please, every
Oh, also
do some-
shout out Shane T, who texted me saying he was watching this like a half hour ago. I don't know if
Thank
he's
shout
still
out
watching,
Shane
but
T.
Thank you, Shane T. Portland is mid this year. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, ratio, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry for that terrible tangent we just went on. But we'll catch you guys on hopefully next week's episode. And if you're listening to it on Spotify, do subscribe, like, reshare, subscribe, good. And then same thing with Spotify. I mean, Apple Music Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor Breaker, Ankle Breakers. Oh, but yeah, whatever you got to do, get us clout. Lamar Stevens' agent. You left me on red, but that's whatever.
did he? I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
Yeah.
Once this our episode's doing numbers, he'll see.
Exactly.
Once our German subscribers put us on, he'll regret a decision. But
Congratulations to Dirk, to our German listeners. Dirk's jersey just got retired in Germany this year for the Eurobasket.
yes, that's a dub.
Wow.
That's a dub. Congratulations to Dirk. Danke, Shine. And shout out Werner Ziegler and his wife Margareta, who just made an appearance in this last season. Aaron, I've got spoilers for you, but that's not spoilers. Actually, it's not anything crazy. Anyway, okay, bye. Okay. All right. Okay, bye.
Timo. Oh, did I get that?